A desperate plea. The night sky of a New York City burst into a kaleidoscope of shimmering colors as a strange craft pierced the atmosphere. Air Force jets scrambled to intercept, but the ship outmaneuvered them with physics-defying grace. On the ground, chaos erupted as people pointed to the sky, cameras and speculation running wild. The craft slowed and hovered near the top of the Empire State Building, a crowd gathering and staring in hushed anticipation. A live figure emerged from the ship, jumping to float gently down to the observation deck. She was humanoid, with iridescent blue skin and a sleek bodysuit that looked grown rather than made. Her large, silver eyes scanned the crowd. "I am Zora of the Quarry," she announced, her voice carrying with an otherworldly resonance. "I come with a dire warning and an offer for the people of Earth." She was quickly ushered into a secure facility by the military. World leaders were alerted, the UN called to an emergency session. Within hours, Zora stood before the assembly, cameras broadcasting globally. "Your planet will soon come under attack by the Khan, a hostile race bent on enslaving worlds like yours," Zora declared somberly. "You have no chance against their advanced weapons and vast armada." Dismayed murmurs filled the chamber. "Why are you telling us this?" the Secretary General asked. "How do we know you speak truth?" "Because I am here to help," Zora said. "The Quarry will give you the technology to defend yourselves. Ultra AI, quantum-entangled shields, wormhole torpedoes. With these you could not only repel the Khan, but establish Earth as a great power on the galactic stage." Hope shone in some eyes, but others narrowed in suspicion. "And what do you want in return?" the US president asked. Zora's chrome eyes met his steadily. "Only this. If you accept our aid, you must commit to joining the Quarry Alliance. We would elevate the human species, but you would need to think beyond divisions of nations. You must unite as one world and join your destiny with the community of the stars." Arguments instantly erupted between countries. Some saw Zora's offer as Earth's only chance, while others perceived a devil's bargain to sacrifice sovereignty. From the media risers, reporter Kai Talden watched Zora closely. The alien's arresting face showed no duplicity, only earnest concern, and perhaps a trace of desperation. Kai felt tension grip his chest. If Zora was telling the truth, the fate of the world hung on the words about to be spoken into the microphones before her. Introduces the alien Zora's arrival on Earth with her warning about the imminent Khan invasion and her shocking proposal for humanity. It sets up the core dilemma of whether to accept alien aid at the price of subsuming national identities into a world state. The protagonist Kai is established as an observer. His role in the story will grow in future parts. Humanity's dilemma. As the UN erupted in heated debate, Zora stood resolute at the podium, her iridescent skin glowing softly under the harsh lights. Kai watched as she calmly repeated her warning about the Khan invasion, unfazed by the shouted accusations of ulterior motives. In the hours that followed, the world's brightest minds pored over the schematics and scientific proofs Zora provided. The technology was breathtaking: zero-point energy, programmable matter, neuromorphic interfaces. It could propel humanity centuries ahead, but at what cost? Kai managed to secure an exclusive interview with Zora. Up close, he was struck by her ethereal beauty and poise. "Why us?" Kai asked. "Why does helping humanity matter to the Quarry?" Zora's silver eyes grew distant. "We were once like you," she said softly. "Fractured, facing an existential threat alone. We nearly tore ourselves apart. But then we found unity and a higher purpose among the stars." She placed a surprisingly warm hand on Kai's. "Humanity's passion and ingenuity are rare jewels. We would see them shine bright, not snuffed out by the Khan." As days passed, Zora tirelessly made her case to world leaders and the public. Support for her proposal grew as simulations showed Earth's forces decimated by Khan dreadnoughts without Quarry tech. But a vocal opposition coalesced, led by the charismatic US Senator Eliza Voss. "This alien thinks she can strong-arm the nations of Earth into giving up our identities. Voss thundered to millions of viewers during a fiery interview. Will we trade our birthright of self-determination for trinkets from the stars? I say never. Voss's allies stoked dark theories. The Corps created this Khan threat to subsume humanity, or they would implant mind control tech. Skepticism spread like a virus. Desperate to sway minds, Zara shared more, revealing the psychic scars the Corps still bore from their own brush with extinction. Kai found himself becoming not just Zara's confidant, but her friend. One night, emotionally exhausted, Zara let Kai glimpse past her professional exterior. On my world, I am an outcast for insisting we help younger races like yours, she confessed. I may never see my family again, but if I can save even one world from the fate we suffered. Kai clasped her hand, feeling the weight of her pain and her purpose. He resolved to do all in his power to convince humanity to accept Zora's proposal. He could sense it in his bones. This was Earth's last, best hope. But as Kai watched Voss and other world leaders meet in secret, their faces drawn in hawkish lines, a terrible realization settled in his gut. Unity was crumbling. Soon, humanity would have to choose, but it might just tear itself apart in the process. Deepens the core conflict of whether Earth will accept Zora's proposal as the debate intensifies. Kai and Zara's relationship develops, giving them personal stakes in the outcome. The opposition crystallizes in the character of Senator Voss. The story touches on themes of unity versus sovereignty, trust versus fear, and the pain of personal sacrifice for a greater cause. Zara's backstory hints at an epic history for her people. I would be happy to continue with Part 3, where preparations for the Khan invasion begin even as a dangerous splinter faction threatens to undermine the alliance with the Quarry. Preparations and betrayals. As the Khan invasion fleet hurtled towards Earth, a fragile alliance took shape. The European Union, China, Japan, and dozens of other nations agreed to accept Zora's technology and unite under the banner of the Terran Defense Coalition. But the United States, Russia, and several other powers held back, unwilling to cede their sovereignty. In hidden Quarry facilities across the globe, human scientists and engineers worked feverishly alongside their alien counterparts to master the advanced technology. Kai marveled as he watched a team integrate a shimmering Quarry shield generator into an American F-35, rendering it nearly invulnerable. Zara oversaw the creation of Earth's first eye-guided warship, a sleek vessel bristling with wormhole torpedoes and quantum cannons. She dubbed it the TTC Unity, a symbol of what humanity could achieve together. But even as the coalition forces trained and armed themselves, a shadow grew. Senator Voss and her allies, calling themselves Earth First, decried the Quarry tech as alien poison. They gathered militias and black ops teams, determined to sabotage the coalition's efforts. Kai and Zara raced to counter Earth First's schemes. They foiled an attempt to corrupt the Unity's AI with a doomsday virus and exposed a mole within the Quarry ranks. But each victory felt hollow as more governments wavered, some even openly aligning with Earth First. Desperate to show the Quarry's good faith, Zara made a shocking announcement. The Quarry would share their most coveted technology, the quantum resonator that enabled telepathic links. With this, there can be no more secrets, no hidden agendas between us, Zara declared. We will be partners in mind and purpose. The first volunteers, including Kai, underwent the bonding. As the resonator hummed to life, Kai gasped as Zara's thoughts intertwined with his own. He felt her awe at humanity's passion, her bone-deep fear of another civilization falling to the Khan, and the depth of her growing love for him. But their moment of unity was shattered by a thunderous explosion. Earth First had launched a devastating attack on a Quarry shipyard, destroying vital tech and killing dozens of aliens and humans alike. In the chaos, a terrible revelation emerged. The attack had been enabled by none other than the Russian president, who declared Earth First the planet's true defenders against alien conquest. As anti-Quarry violence erupted worldwide, Zara pleaded for calm. We cannot let fear divide us, not when annihilation looms. But her words fell on deaf ears. Emboldened, Earth first struck again and again, turning cities into battlegrounds between the coalition and the separatists. Kai held a weeping Zara as the grim news poured in. The Khan Armada was mere days away, and humanity was tearing itself apart. "We failed," Zara whispered. "I've doomed your people by coming here." Kai held her tighter, a fierce determination rising in him. "No, we'll find a way. Humanity is at its best when all seems lost, you'll see." But as he watched smoke billow over the war-torn streets, Kai couldn't quell the cold dread gripping his heart. The Khan would arrive to find not a united Earth, but a fractured and burning world, and he feared that not even humanity's indomitable spirit could save them now. Part 3 ratchets up the tension as the story hurtles towards the climactic invasion. The introduction of the quantum resonator technology and the deepening bond between Kai and Zara provide a hopeful note, but it is quickly overshadowed by the devastating betrayals and attacks by Earth First and their secret allies. The stage is set for a final confrontation, not just with the Khan, but between the two factions of humanity. The story questions whether our species can overcome our self-destructive tendencies and unite in the face of annihilation. I would be happy to proceed with Part 4, where the Khan invasion begins and humanity must fight for its very survival, even as it battles itself. The invasion begins. The Khan arrived in a storm of fire and terror. Massive dreadnoughts, each the size of a city, tore through Earth's orbital defenses like tissue paper. Swarms of fighter craft, their hulls pulsing with sickly green energy, strafed the planet's surface, leaving trails of destruction in their wake. In the chaos, the fractures in Earth's defenses became starkly apparent. The Terran Defense Coalition's quarry-enhanced ships and weapons stood firm, their quantum shields absorbing the brunt of the Khan assault. But the nations that had refused the alien technology found their conventional forces woefully outmatched. Kai watched in horror from the bridge of the TTC Unity as a Khan dreadnought vaporized an entire carrier group with a single shot of its antimatter cannon. The US President, ashen-faced, came on the comms, pleading for the coalition's aid. Senator Voss's voice cut through the channel. "You see, this is the fate they led us to, trusting in alien saviors. We should be taking the fight to these monsters, not cowering behind." Her tirade was cut short by a deafening roar. The Khan had launched a devastating ground assault, their shock troops pouring into the streets of Washington, Moscow, and Beijing. Earth First militias rushed to engage them, but their bullets and bombs merely glanced off the Khan's exoskeletons. Amidst the pitched battles, a new horror emerged. Some of the Khan soldiers wielded weapons of insidious design, firing beams that turned humans into mindless berserkers. These thralls then turned on their own kind, sowing chaos and destruction. Zara's face paled as the reports flooded in. "They used these on my people," she whispered. "Twisted our own minds against us. We barely survived." Kai gripped her hand tightly. "We'll find a way," he said, trying to instill a confidence he didn't feel. "We have to." As the coalition forces fought valiantly to hold back the onslaught, Kai and Zara pored over the quarry archives, desperately searching for a way to counter the Khan's mind-control tech. The answer came in a desperate gamble. By modifying the quantum resonators, they could create a psychic feedback loop, turning the Khan's own weapons against them. But it would require a precise strike on the command ship and tremendous psionic energy, more than even a quarry could generate alone. Zara's eyes met Kay's, a wordless understanding passing between them. They would have to join their minds, becoming a single psychic entity. It would grant them the power to cripple the Khan, but at a terrible cost. That individual identities would be lost forever, subsumed into a new hybrid consciousness. As Earth's forces mounted a final desperate counterattack, Kai and Zara stood hand in hand on the Unity's bridge, the modified resonator glowing between them. "For Earth," Kai said softly, "for all the worlds that will follow." Zara nodded, tears shimmering in her silver eyes. "For the future we dreamed of," As the resonator reached a crescendo, Kai felt Zara's essence flow into him, his thoughts and memories intertwining with hers until he could no longer tell where he ended and she began. Together, they cast their psychic might outward, a lance of pure energy that pierced the Khan command ship's shields and struck its psionic core. The dreadnought convulsed, then erupted in a nova of blinding light. Across the battlefield, the Khan's mind control weapons sparked and died, their thralls collapsing like puppets with cut strings. Seizing the moment, the human and Kori forces surged forward as one, driving the invaders back. As the Unity's crew cheered in triumph, the being that had been Kai and Zara watched with a bittersweet smile. They had given up everything to forge this victory. Now they could only hope that the unity they had sacrificed for would endure, that humanity would not squander this second chance at a future among the stars. Part 4 brings the story to its climax with the arrival of the Khan and the desperate battle for Earth's survival. The Khan's mind control technology adds a sinister new threat, one that forces Kai and Zara to make the ultimate sacrifice to defeat. Their transformation into a single hybrid entity is both a tragic loss of self and a powerful symbol of the unity needed to overcome existential threats. The story suggests that triumph against impossible odds is possible, but it often demands a great price. I would be glad to write the final part, where the aftermath of the Khan invasion and Kai and Zara's sacrifice sets the stage for a new era for humanity and its place in the galactic community. Victory and a new era. In the aftermath of the Khan's defeat, Earth stood united as never before. The once warring nations, humbled by the sacrifices made by the coalition and the Kori, put aside their differences and embraced a new identity as part of the galactic community. The hybrid entity that had been Kai and Zara became a symbol of this unity. Though they mourned the loss of their individual selves, they found solace in their new purpose. With their combined human ingenuity and Kori wisdom, they became a bridge between the two civilizations, guiding humanity's integration into the Kori alliance. Under their leadership, Earth underwent a rapid transformation. Kori technology eliminated scarcity and disease, while human creativity and passion found new outlets among the stars. The first human Kori starships, combining the best of both species engineering, set out to explore the wonders of the galaxy. But even as Earth prospered, the specter of the Khan lingered. The invasion had been thwarted, but not defeated entirely. Pockets of resistance still sowed chaos on distant worlds, and rumors persisted of an even greater threat lurking in the void. Determined to safeguard the hard-won peace, the Kai-Zara entity rallied Earth's greatest champions. Senator Voss, once their bitter rival, now stood as a staunch ally, her fiery rhetoric now promoting unity and cooperation. Together, they formed the Vanguard, an elite force dedicated to protecting the innocent and uplifting nascent civilizations. As the Vanguard's first mission, they set out to aid a young species, the Skaru, who were on the brink of extinction due to a mysterious blight. With human resilience and Kori technology, they managed to synthesize a cure, saving the grateful Skaru from oblivion. News of their deeds spread far and wide, inspiring other worlds to follow in Earth's footsteps. An alliance of free civilizations, the Concordants, rose to become a beacon of hope in a galaxy too often plagued by darkness and strife. At the heart of it all stood Earth, no longer a backwater, but a shining exemplar of what could be achieved when disparate peoples united in common cause. And guiding them forward was the Kai-Zara entity, a living embodiment of the power of synthesis, of finding strength in difference. As they stood on the observation deck of the Vanguard's flagship, gazing out at the tapestry of stars, the Kai-Zara entity reflected on the journey that had brought them here. The road had been long and fraught with sacrifice, but they knew in their shared soul that it had been worth it, for they had not just saved humanity, they had helped to birth something new and wonderful, a future where no civilization would have to stand alone against the darkness, where the light of unity and compassion would forever shine brightly. The Kai-Zara entity smiled, feeling the warmth of that light within them. They knew challenges still lay ahead, that the concordance would be tested by threats both without and within, but they also knew that together, there was no obstacle they could not overcome, no dream they could not make real. With a sense of profound hope and determination, the Kaizara entity turned their gaze forward, ready to embrace whatever the future might hold. For in unity, in the synthesis of human and Quori, of all the diverse peoples of the galaxy, they had found not just survival, but the promise of a brighter tomorrow. And that was a promise they intended to keep, no matter the cost. The final part of the story provides a satisfying resolution to the major arcs while also setting up potential future adventures. Earth's triumph over the Khan and its integration into the galactic community marks a new era for humanity, one guided by the Kaizara entity's unique synthesis of human and Quori strengths. The formation of the Vanguard and the Concordance suggests an ongoing mission to protect and uplift other civilizations, providing a framework for further stories in this universe. The hint of a greater threat lurking in the background adds an element of foreshadowing and raises the stakes for future installments. The story concludes on a hopeful note, with the Kaizara entity embodying the theme of finding strength and unity in diversity. It suggests that while challenges will always arise, they can be overcome through cooperation, compassion, and a willingness to embrace change and growth. This brings us to the end of the 5-part story. I hope you found it engaging and thought-provoking. If you have any other questions, or if there's anything else I can help with, please don't hesitate to ask.